Platform classmates. Learn Power Platform like you would learn from a fellow classmate.
Have been listening to Sandeep, and he pretty much gave a good idea about Power Platform and everything. So when I'm talking about myself, my name is Firoz Muhammad. Some of you might be knowing me as a corporate trader. So I have been in the Dynamo365 Power Platform corporate training domain for last 5 years. I have a few courses on Udemy as well. So yeah, so that is a little bit about me. So we can quickly get into the session. So I'd like to share my screen. Before sharing that, yeah, hope everyone can share my screen. Yeah, so I'd like to ask a question to everyone. I cannot see the face of everyone, but I'd like to ask this. So maybe you can raise your hand when I'm asking the question. So what is your, experience in terms of Power Platform? So it can be 0 to 6 months, okay, or it can be 6 months to 1 year, 1 to 2 years, or 2 to 3 years. So that would be your experience. So how many of you are extremely new to Power Platform? So you can just mention that in the chat. So once you get a couple of responses, then we'll be good to go ahead with. Okay, 0 if you guys are having 0 experience. Okay, okay, 0, 1, 2 from the start. Okay, 0, 6 months. All right, all right. So most of the people are new to Power Platform. That is good in a way, because this section is going to give an absolute beginner guide to Power Platform. All right. So, and I can see even Frederick having 4 years of experience. Yeah, that is great. I can see some other people having 1, 2. Yep. Cool. All right. So I believe everyone can see my screen. Please let me know.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yes, Feroz, we can see your screen.
Okay, cool, cool. So yeah, so let's get started with the session. It's all about how to get started with Microsoft Power Platform. So people who already have a good amount of knowledge on Power Platform, it might be a little boring for you. I have to advise you on that. But for people who are new to this domain, it will be a good starting point for them. So this is the agenda for today's sessions. I'll be talking about what is Power Platform from the very beginning, and what is Dataverse or Common Data Service, and then we'll be talking about the 4 components or the 4 apps within Power Platform, that is Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power BI, as well as Power Virtual Agents. And also I'll be talking about Power Platform administration if time allows. So what is Power Platform? So you might have some idea by now, because our previous presenter was talking about Power Platform and everything about it and the business and the future of Power Platform. So I'll be adding a little more to that. So Power Platform is the latest enterprise business application development platform from Microsoft, using which we can develop application using the drag and drop functionality. So I heard he's talking about the low code, no code platform. Yes, exactly. That is the point. So being a Dynamo365 consultant, we have been customizing the application using the UI as well as the .NET JavaScript. That's the way you customize customer engagement application. So if I go to Dynamo365 F&O, that is where we had X++. That's a code change or code base using which we can change the functionality of the application. So if I'm talking about the other applications in Dynamo365, such as F&O Business Central, it's had its own code base using which you can customize it along with the UI functionality. So talking about the UI customization of the application, it's always like drag and drop and the configuration and etc. I remember yesterday I was talking to someone, so that guy was asking the same thing. So being a customer engagement developer, why we need coding? Are we going to have the customization at the very in-depth level? And how much a guy who is getting into customer engagement domain should know about .NET? Do they need to know everything about .NET or a little bit of that? So, the answer to that is when the customer engagement application is concerned, we normally say we have a lot of features available on the UI part, but most of the time, I would say around 70 to 80% of the time, being a customer engagement developer, you'll be dealing with the code, right? You'll be customizing the application using code. That is the case with F&O and Business Central, any other application. I work with, Salesforce also. That is also the case there as well. So what Microsoft is trying to do over here is they're extending this dynamic. So they already did it by Power Platform, where we can customize the application without writing any piece of code or hardly any code. So we have scripting language available over here using which we can use the functions and other thing to just customize the UI, but you don't need to write any .NET code over here. So almost any complex application, just like in customer engagement, we can create as well as we can extend the existing application within the customer engagement and F&O with the help of Power Platform. So we are going to see that. So these are the 4 apps within Power Platform, such as Power Apps for custom application development, then Power Automate for automation as well as for light integration. Then we have Power BI, which is in the market for quite some time now, even before Power Platform exists, Power BI is there. And then comes Power Virtual Agent, which is the latest addition to this package. So now we have 4 applications, each for different functionalities. So I'm going to explain that. And also we have Common Data Service over here, which is the backbone of your Power Platform, using which we can access the business data as well as we can perform the customizations, right? So then we have data connectors and also we have AI built in. So the name of Common Data Service has changed very recently into Dataverse. So we'll be talking about Dataverse also a bit. So I have mentioned a new application platform. I have to tell you this is nothing new anymore, because here we have developers who are into this domain for 4 years. So that means this is a new platform, but it has a lot of new features. So if you look at Power Platform, you can see that the features are coming up in this one is really fast, right? Faster than coming up, in the other platform. So Power Platform provides you a very easy and quick way to build applications. We have seen a lot of stories and case studies of mechanics and teachers and students are creating application for them. I read a story about a teacher who is just creating an application for their day-to-day activities. In fact, one of the entrepreneur who is just next to my door in the business park. So he is developing an application. He's not a developer. He developed an application for the for the attendance and leave for his company. He developed it himself. So that's and he done it like 1 or 2 years back. So that's a kind of platform we have. So anyone, so Microsoft use the word citizen developer. It can be anyone who like to develop an application. We don't have the problem of you should know a programming language to develop an application. So we'll be talking about that. So Power Platform basically combines the power of Power Apps, using which we'll develop the application using UI, then Power BI for dashboards and reports, and Power Automate for integrations, as well as for automation, and then we have Power Virtual Agents. So you are getting a complete package using which we can develop enterprise business application very easily. And also we can harness the power of Dynamics 365 as well as Office 365. In fact, even Microsoft Teams also can be integrated with your Power Platform. So when you're talking about the components of Power Platform, I think I have already discussed this, right? So these are the 4 applications inside that. So I'm not going to spend time on here. So in this picture is showing how it is integrated with Dynamics 365, Office 365, and standalone applications. So like in the previous session, we have 400 plus. In my slide, it was 300 plus data connectors. Then I have seen that there are 400 plus connectors available in the platform. That means that fast the connectors are being added to the platform. So here you can see standalone application, which is nothing but any other application. It can be Salesforce, it can be Dropbox, or any other major application in the system, use to which we can integrate our application. We can create a mobile app or a Canvas app in Power Apps. Then you can integrate that with Office 365 very easily on a click of a button, or you can integrate that with other application. You can create a Power App, then it can be connected with Google Docs, so that every time when someone is entering a value into your app, it can be a leave tracking app, or it can be a resignation. I don't know. It's an HR kind of app. So every time when someone is entering, or in fact, we are doing something this Monday. We have an event, which is a physical event here. So everyone who's entering the promise, we are just giving them a URL on which they will just see the QR code. Once they scan it, then It'll ask them to fill up the information, to enter to the meeting hall. So that kind of things we can do. So it can be integrated with Dynamics 5. So when I'm going to talk about the integration of Power Platform with Dynamics 5, we know that this is known as model-driven apps. So the apps such as sales, customer service, marketing, field service, and etc. This can be customized with the help of Power Apps. We are going to see that as well. Now let's talk about Dataverse or CDS or Common Data Service. So when Microsoft launched Power Platform, they used to call this as Common Data Services, right? So Common Data Services or Dataverse allow you to securely store and manage business data. Now, anyone who is coming from a Dynamics 5 customer engagement background, they understand that this is nothing but your set of entities and your solution where you can manage your data. But people who are outside of that domain should understand that this is a system which is allow you to just enter your data. Okay, you have all the metadata using which we can just create new entities or utilize the existing one. You can store data, and the terminology also change a bit over here. Earlier we used to call entities such as accounts, contact, leads, opportunity, and etc. But now that name has changed into tables. Yeah, and now then we have the columns and fields. So your Dataverse allow you to just securely manage data. So in this picture, you can see that here we have a lot of cloud services on the left hand side, such as your Google Drive or Google Sheet or any other application. And here we have this three application. This is a little older picture: Power BI, Power Apps, and Microsoft Flow. And then there is a security model over here. So you can access the data of your legacy system. I would say customer engagement, finance and operation, etc. as legacy application. So if you want to connect your Power App, for example, the same leave application example I mentioned, it can be integrated with your customer engagement application. So I can create a new table, say leave entry within my customer engagement application. Then I can create a Canvas app within Power Apps, which can be connected securely to this one. So anyone who have a license or we have a license in Power Apps can access this application. They can enter their leave details on this. It will be stored within the customer engagement application, which is possible, right? So this picture I have already shown you. So customer engagement, sorry, the Dataverse, the Common Data Services is working as the backbone for all these four applications. So that's where the integration is easier. If you think about integrating an application such as customer engagement with SAP ERP, we have done that in the past. It is way too complex. Either we have to use a tool like Kingspace Soft or some other tools available in the market, or you have to write a code for it. It used to take weeks of time just to perform the complete integration. I'm not trying to say that it's completely got replaced by Power Platform, but now if you want to create an application with Power Apps, it need to be connected with, any other legacy applications in the market. It won't take weeks for you. It will take a few hours or maybe a day for you just to perform that integration. So that kind of drastic change has come to the enterprise business development domain because of Power Platform. Now, how and where we can use Dataverse? Like I mentioned, it is nothing but a set of your standard entities. So if I'm going to access Dataverse now, I'll look to show you that. I'll be able to see the list of all the entities available in the system, all the standard entities such as accounts, contact, leads, opportunities, etc., along with my custom entities, which I can utilize just to customize the application. So it allows the app makers to create feature-rich applications, and then you can make use of the business data. So here you can see I have opened up my Power Apps application. Inside that, once I just go to the data area, I'll be able to find a list of tables, which are nothing but the entities, accounts, contacts, leads, appointment, contact, etc. I can customize it. I can go to each of these, customize them, and I can make use of it. So that was an introduction about Power Platform. Now let's talk about Power Apps. I have given an introduction to Power Apps already, which is the enterprise application development application development platform using which we can create application easily. So anyone have a passion to develop an application is able to create enterprise business application with the help of Power Apps. That is what we have. So it is basically hosted on Azure cloud, but we don't need to worry about where it is hosted, how to use it. As long as you remember your username and password, you can access it and you can perform the operation. Of course, when you're a developer, you need to perform a lot more integrations with the other legacy applications. such as Microsoft 365, Business Central, or Salesforce, or any other application, then you need to think about the other options of integrating Power Apps with the other application. So anyone who want to develop an application can create application with the help of Power Apps. Now, how Power Apps is useful, which I already explained, right? We can create apps for ourselves. So anyone can create it. They don't want to learn anything, and it can run on on browser as well as on mobile. We have a Power Apps mobile app is there where we can create applications. So that's the advantage of mobile app for Power Apps. So you can create an application from your mobile device. Okay, same goes for Power Automate. You don't even need to use the browser. Where you have the app designer, of course, we can do that. Along with that, you can manage your apps from the mobile app itself. And it's very easy to share with other users, just like how you share a Word document with others. You can share your apps with others. There are three different types of apps are there within Power Apps. We'll be talking about that as well. In fact, even you can, embed your application within other applications. So that kind of features we have available within Power Apps. So these are the three types of apps we have. The first one is Canvas app, which is primarily for mobile devices and tablets. Then we have model-driven apps. So model-driven app is nothing but the apps within your Dynamics 365, such as F&O, customer engagement, etc. Those can be customized within Power Apps. Okay, so that's how Microsoft extend Dynamics 365 into Power Platform. Then comes portal apps. If you're coming from Dynamics 365 customer engagement background, you would remember Dynamics 365 portal, right? Which is a very complex application, which is still available, in fact. So Microsoft changed that, changed everything of that, and then the configuration and backend is still the same, but the UI has changed a lot. So this is the latest addition to the types of app we have, which is portal app. That means we can set up apps such as customer portal or employee portal, etc. We can develop, and the data will be stored in the customer engagement database. So these are the three types of apps which you can create within your Power Apps. What is that application? So once you log into Power Apps, this is what you're going to see. I'll show you a walkthrough. So this is what you're going to see, where you get different option to create apps here. So here I am. So if I want to start accessing Power Apps, go to powerapps.microsoft.com. So it is allow you to try it for free for 30 days. You can allow it for free. And this license is also available with your Microsoft 365 as well as Dynamics 365 licenses. So you can just check out if you are already using any of this Microsoft 365, then you can check with your admin, or you can check it yourself. Whether you have access to Power Apps. In that case, you don't want to purchase it, but still you can try it for free for 30 days. So I'm simply going to sign in. So this is what I'm going to get when I sign into my Power Apps account. So this is make.powerapps.com. That's the Power App Designer. And this is where you can get all the settings. Yeah, just pretty much like your Microsoft 365 admin area, right? Here you have the admin center. I'll just go there later. And here you can see the plan that you have. I mean to say the licenser. And here you have the advanced settings, which you will see in a bit. And here you can see the notifications. Yeah, some of my instances have expired, which you can see here. And here you have your account as well. All right. So this is account that we have taken for my organization. So here, this is where I can just see my instances. You can see some of the instances that we are utilizing over here. So this is where you can select the instances, or I would say environments. That's a new word that we have. So environment is nothing but an instance. All right, it will have its own solution, so you can create your entities and etc. there. So you have to select your instance here. By default, when you create a new account, you will get an environment or instance which you can make use of. Within that instance, consider this environment has a bucket or a database. That is where all your apps or your Power Automate flows, and then reports, everything will be stored. Of course, the records as well. And this is where you get the different option. You can see here there are three ways in which you can create the app. First one is from data, so you can select create an application from SharePoint, Excel Online. These are some of the data sources that we have. So instead of you create it from scratch, you can directly connect that with an application. For example, Excel, okay, or Microsoft Excel Online. You can come here, and then I'm not going to create it now, but I'm trying to show you. So if I'm trying to connect it to Google Sheet, I can just log in connect like this, allow it, so that if I have an Excel sheet, from that Excel sheet, based on that data, I can create. So here you have some of the Excel sheet I have. Based on this, I can select it, go ahead, a new application will be created. So this is like a 5-day CRM training plan. So based on that, I can select that sheet and then connect. So it is trying to create an app. I'm simply randomly selecting an Excel sheet, but the Power Apps is going to create an app for it. So it will come up with a few pages. Here you can see it come up with a screen, 3 screens, in fact, browser screen or browse screen, detail screen 1, edit screen. And that's where we have a lot of controls also here. So in fact, what it did is it basically created a new app. I don't know if you guys could follow me because I was going fast. So it's basically created a new app for me based on the Excel sheet, not Excel, Google Sheet I have selected. And it has come up with a 3 screen. One is a browser screen or browse screen. Second one is the edit screen and detail screen, right? Now, I can just see how this look like. I can click on the run button here. So it will just show me something like this. It doesn't have proper data. That's why it's showing like this. So this is one of the first data, day 1. This is what I'm going to, do that on that. Based on the Excel data, I can edit it like this. Go back. Day 1, section 1, section 2, that is what is basically it is. Section 3, right? So I have selected the Excel sheet of day 1, so I can see the section. So the section names are not given in the Excel. That's what's coming. So now see, you can simply create an app for your training program where someone can select the session and see the details, then you can make use of it. I simply randomly select one. I should have planned a bit more just to show you a better app. But the point over here is, here you can see that a lot of components and etc. is selected. The detail form it is here, and the labels, this is the label. I can change it, day 1, and then I can delete. You can see I can edit. So everything got created automatically, right? On a click of a button in less than 30 seconds, right? So you can select some data source just like Google Sheet or Excel sheet, and then you can create an app. I haven't even saved this app. I can go here and then say it is training app. So the app is being saved to my environment. This is my environment. The app is being saved that I can access later. Once it is created, then I can share that with my colleagues, right? So this is the one is created. You can see the versions. I just created it, so I wouldn't have any versions over here, but I can share it. Share it with my colleagues, so they can also access it. Then I can just start accessing it from my mobile app as well. So here I can select the name of someone, for example, training, or I can just select some of my colleagues. So they will get access to this app. Do you want to make that person as a co-owner? I can just do that and click share. So that app will be shared with that person as well. All right, definitely we need to add a lot more features into this kind of apps. We need to spend a little more time, but I was just showing the entire life cycle of how easily it is to create an app from scratch and how we can just share it, right? So the first option is that you can select a data source on-premise or cloud, and then you can create an app from it, or you can create your own, right? You can create a Canvas app from blank, or you can create a model-driven app from blank. That option is also there. And the third type of app that we have is portal. So there also we get a lot of template here, right? And then you can create from there. So here we have the create option is there. That is what you have seen here. And then once you go to this create option, then you'll be able to find a lot of templates. So instead of creating from scratch or blank, you can just utilize any of this template here. For example, here you have an app called leave request one, which is a Canvas app, service desk Canvas app. I can simply select this one, which is a template, and I can say, I can just mention today's date here. Okay. The format tablet or phone, I can select that, connect to these two data sources. This is Microsoft 365, Office 365, and this is like Outlook. These two are needed. These two are connections are needed. Just click create. So this is going to create a new app from the existing template. Then it's going to make use of that. So these two data sources I need to link into. So based on my credential here, it's all ready. But if you are trying it for the very first time, it may take a little more time, may not to make the connections and etc. There is some disturbance. Thank you. Yeah, so this is a new app we got with a lot of screens here, starting from login screen and all other screen. I don't even know the functionality of this, so I simply going to run it by clicking this button. So this is the app. It is asking me to log in as an employee, log in as a manager, right? So let me give it a try. So I log in as a employee. Now you can see that my leave request, I don't have any. Yeah, there is one for vacation. It's pending from the sample data. My leave balance, I can see all that. So you see, this is a, cool template available already here, which you can easily customize. Use a full-blown application, right? Log in here, and then you can just create a new leave request from this side. Yeah, you can select the date and then make use of it, right? So now you know when some of your client is asking to create a leave request application, you don't need to spend days for it. You can simply make use of this, change the branding, and then you can create it in a day or two, right? That you can do. So that's the second option that you have. You can create an app from an existing template. Let me save this, save it. That's the second option. So considering the less time that we have, I'll be gone a bit quickly. So I have created two apps over here. Once I have created apps, I'll be able to find those apps here. So these are some of the apps I have created. You can see two Canvas app. I just tried one 4 minutes before, one is 20 seconds before, right? Now I can deal with it. I can edit them if I want to make some changes. I can play them, share, export into a package similar to solution, and you can export it to a different environment or yeah, or solution. I can do that. And then here I have the option to create that. So this is what we have seen: Canvas app, model driven app, and portal app. I have just show you the Canvas app type. These are the other apps I have created in the past, right? These are all part of my environment. I believe you got the idea of environment and apps and how to create a Canvas app. And this is where you have your database, which I just explained. This is where you can see the tables. The same set of tables you can see within your Power Automate also, which I'll show you in some time. So these are the tables you have. We can create a new table. You can create a new table from here. For example, employer, I can create that. And then I can just enter the attribute, add to this one. I can make use of it. So yeah, I quickly go ahead from there. So this is the Power Platform or app designer that we have, using which you can create the apps. I'll go back to my slide where I'll talk about Power Automate. So I have given an idea about what is Power Automate. This is the second app within Power Platform using which we can perform the integrations as well as automation. So by definition, this is nothing but a cloud service which allows business users to create automated tasks among multiple applications. So if I'm talking about the workflows within customer engagement application or any other application of that sort, it will allow you to just perform automation tasks within one application or with one more application, right? If I need to send an SMS from my CRM application, I can do that with the help of workflows. And then I need to use a tool like Delio, then I can just send SMS, but there it stops. But if I want to connect that with the Google Sheet or a Salesforce system, I need another tool and a lot of effort. Those kind of things can be automated with the help of Power Automate. So the name of Power Automate used to be Microsoft Flow. Now they have changed that name into Power Automate. And each of the automation tasks that you create here is known as Microsoft, sorry, a flow. That's what we, and then we can perform it. So this is a business scenario. I quickly go through it. You can send notification over SMS or email very easily without having any other integration with the SMS service provider. Simply need to connect it. You can integrate with multiple applications, two or more applications. For example, if I'm uploading a doc to SharePoint, you can send an email for approval. I can maybe store that document in OneDrive as well. Also, I mean, make an entry within Google Sheet also. All this automation I can do among multiple application. Okay. And approval flow is something which is, I mean, something available within the system using which we can make the approval process very easily. Now, when talking about the connectors available, connectors are nothing but the other cloud and on-premise services to which Power Automate can be connected. So that includes a plethora of applications starting from Salesforce, SQL Server, Twitter, Box, DocDesign, Skype, and whatnot. So when Power Platform started, I still remember, I mean, I had to deliver a training on Power Automate 2 years back. Back then, no one was giving training on that. So that point in time, there were 200 connections were there, 200 services to which Automate, I mean, could connect. Now it is more than 400. I heard Sandeep is saying it is 450 plus now. So that quickly it is growing. Even on-premise systems also can be connected to, I mean, with the help of Power Automate. That's a feature we have. We need a gateway to do that, but that is also possible. Now, if you want to start using Power Automate, you can again register for a free trial for 30 days, or you can utilize the existing one. Then you can start creating the flows here, right? So simply log into flow.microsoft.com, and then you can start accessing your flows here. All right, so if you're trying for the first time, you may need to create the account. I already log in here, so that's why I'm getting it. So this is where I'll be able to find my flows, okay, not my flows. And then I can see the list of flows that we have created in the past, right? So there are 4 different types of flows that we have here. Now a few more are there, including desktop. One more is got added very recently, known as desktop flow. So these are the 5 flow type that we have: automated flow, instant flow, scheduled flow, as well as business process flow, then desktop flow. So since desktop flow is introduced, the other flows got renamed into cloud flow. You can see that automated, instant, all become cloud flows. So these are the list of flows that we have. Each of these flows are nothing but an automation task. So here you can see, I can just simply run it. So let me see what exactly it is. It includes, I can edit it and show you. Yeah, manually trigger a flow. So that means from my mobile app, when I just tap on a button, it will initialize some variables. Yeah, and it is checking some condition, some very simple one, and then incrementing that value, again performing some operation, and then performing it. So what you can do is I can perform automation task here. That is a flow with variables. I do have a 4 more minutes left, so I have to run quickly, right? So this is a list of flows here. Maybe in another session we can show it in detail. So that is where I can create the flows directly from here very quickly. All performs, I mean, will be that version that enter the details and create that. And then quickly to my slide back, we have Power BI. That's a third app within Power Platform. So Power BI is there in the market for quite some time, even before Power Platform was launched by Microsoft. So Power BI provides an interactive visualizations and business intelligence capabilities. We know that we have cluster report back in 2010 and before that. So we used to create a report in that with our .NET applications. So from there, now we have Power BI. So Power BI makes things lives very, very easy, right? You can create stunning reports with all of these features. Almost any reporting or BI feature you ask for, we have that in Power BI. Okay, and we can very easily integrate that with almost all Microsoft applications. It can be a standalone application also. That means you go to your Power BI account where you can see all your report. You can go and check that, or you can integrate that with your customer engagement application, or you can even embed your Power BI report within your customer engagement dashboard, so that you can access it. Pretty much the same with F&O and other applications as well. So you can create reports, so transform your data into stunning visuals, and you can share that with your colleagues. We can basically create business intelligence more interactive and powerful with the help of Power BI. So if you want to try out Power BI, we have a free trial for that also. powerbi.microsoft.com. Create a trial, and then you can start creating them. Right. And the last and final thing that we have is Power Virtual Agents. So which got added into Power Platform very recently, a few months back. So as the name indicate, these are nothing but virtual agents or chatbots which you can make use of. So Power Virtual Agents allow you to create bot that will answer questions from your customers or employees or viewers for your website. We have seen this in Facebook, even in Instagram also we have this. We can set up this so that it will answer your questions. Even in many places we have this, right? So this comes with a lot of pre-built content blocks. You can make use of it and we can set up it. So it will look like this when you create a chatbot. You can see it here. I'm seeing a lot of posts on LinkedIn from MVPs and experts. They are creating chatbot with the help of Power Virtual Agents, and then they are sharing it. So it will look like this. In fact, even I have seen it here under my Power Apps. If I go here, chatbots, I can create that from here itself. In fact, there is a trial is also available in this. Let me try that out. Microsoft themselves have made that available here. I can see it now. So using which I can just make use of it. I was just even chatting with that sometime back. So here itself we have an option available. I don't know. So using that we can just it's a trial they are giving over here. So that we can just check with the support team of Power Platform on different details. It is nothing but the layer before the customer support agent. I have to correct that. So you can automate almost all your customer service operation by setting up chatbot so that they will just support your customer queries or employees queries and etc. All right, so that is where I'm going to wind up the session just to be with the time. So yeah, we have discussed about Power Platform. What is Power Platform? What is the intention of having Power Platform and how we can make use of it? And then we discuss about the 4 apps within Power Platform, such as Power Apps, Power Automate, Power Virtual Agents, and Power BI. And then we discuss about Dataverse also. I know that is a very quick overview of Power Platform, but I believe it is helpful to all of you. Maybe if time permits, we can take a few questions. Nijo, back to you.
Yes, I can see that there are a lot of questions. We'll take some of the questions and we encourage more questions. And Bipin, you asked many questions. We try to answer some of the questions, and we'll take a few more questions. And due to the interest of time, Feroz has we have shared Feroz handles over the chat. You can reach to him or reach to us anytime. We can try to help you with more answers. One question which Bipin had asked is that, what is the best option to create a Canvas app? Start from data or use some existing template? Feroz, what is this question for you? Which is the best option to start creating an application?
Well, it depends upon the situation and your requirement. So like I just show you very quickly. Okay. So for example, if you have your data on an Excel sheet or a Google sheet, okay, just like the training plan I have, and if you want to create an app from that, then creating from data source is the best option, right? In that scenario. Now, there may be there are situation where you are creating an app where there is no data required. For example, some app for some fun purpose or something. In that situation, you can create that from scratch. Okay, so once you have data source, based on that, if you want to create an app, which can be Google Sheet or Microsoft Excel online, or it can be even a SharePoint, file or anything doc. So that situation you go with that data source. Otherwise, you can start from scratch. Or if you are already creating an application just like the Leave application where already have a template is there, then why should you go ahead and create something from scratch, right? I believe that answers your question.
That's it. We'll take if you have more questions, we can reach out to Feroz anytime on the handles. Thank you, Feroz. Thank you for your time. Yeah, we are moving to the next session now. Priyesh, want to take it?
Yes, absolutely. Thanks, Feroz. Really enlightening session.
Power Platform classmates. Learn Power Platform like you would learn from a fellow classmate.